We hear people, this is from 2016, but it just illustrates the point that people and the media are constantly attacking Donald Trump for for his contradictions. You know, the title here is The Contradictions of Donald Trump and why he moves past them. Well, is that actually true? Let's have a look at Trump fighting fake news way back in the 1990s, where he walked out of a CNN fake news interview. And he really tells them how it is, just like today. And you can look up a lot of different issues. And President Trump he has a lot of the same messages now that he did way back in the 90s.
People say something false, I attack those people. Because the news gets away with murder, the news media. They get away with murder. It's tough in terms of libel laws because the media is so protected, and it's ridiculous that they're so protected, but they can write virtually anything. The difference is, with me, at least they pay some price. And I think more people should have that attitude, and I think you'd find a lot more accurate reporting, including you.
Including yours. I actually agree with him on this point. I'm for a free press, but at the same time, if the press becomes so free that they can attack anybody, you know, and lie about people, and basically it becomes where they start threatening people, and they, you know, where if you don't act the way we want you to act, we're gonna, you know, ruin your life. And that's basically the power the media has. And they're so while we need to protect the media for sure, we also need to protect the people from the fact that the media can be corrupted itself, and there needs to be restrictions to, you know, on the media to some small extent. I'm not talking about, you know, going through with a fine-tooth comb, but when, you know, for instance, CNN clearly has a pattern of behavior of outright lying or purposefully misleading, you know, where they take an audience and give them propaganda to make the audience think something that's not true. And I think if you can prove this in court and it harms you, then you should be able to go after the media, especially when it's you know, a long pattern of behavior, which is the case here.
Yours.
What was inaccurate so far?
I thought your demeanor was inaccurate. I thought that questions that you were posing to people in my organization were inaccurate and false and unfair.
Well, questions by definition can't be inaccurate. They're questions.
Well, I think
See, CNN's trying to pull this bullshit here where they're trying to get all technical, but Donald Trump's not having it. And this is a way he connects with the average person so well, because he's just calling them on the bullshit and he's leaving it up to the average person watching. Are you going to believe CNN and their technicalities, or are you going to believe him on basically what everybody knows is true?
I think the questions themselves were put in such a way that made them statements, and they became statements as opposed to questions, and I think that's not good reporting.
Such as?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't think your viewers would be very interested in it, nor do I want to embarrass you.
No, I don't think I would be, but let's talk about what we talked about yesterday.
I love that little chuckle. I believe he's still a Democrat back in 1990, so this is when he's even basically on the side of CNN, and he still has an issue with them. You know, in terms of ideological leaning, he's actually like in agreement ideologically with CNN, but he's still calling them out on their bullshit.
Those in the financial community I'm talking about, and we talked about this on the phone, who have said, and this is them saying it, not me.
This is them? What do you mean by them? This is one or two people, and what about the positive people?
5 or 6, but the ones who said negative things, and
here we are.
Well, we've got to talk
back to the negative.
Back to the negative.
Back to the. You know what? Do you?
You know, when he says who's them, one or two people, and then the other guy says, oh, 5 or 6, doesn't that sound a lot like today's anonymous sources? So, you know, a lot of people kind of, or might think that this has just been recently going on with the fake news, and it might be worse than it's ever been. But really, it's the fact that we're starting to realize it. You know, social media makes it a lot easier to point out and catch on to. Where in the past, I think it was there. People just didn't realize it to the same extent. And now watch Donald Trump drop the mic here.
You do this interview with somebody else.
Well, we talked about this yesterday on the phone. This is exactly what we talked
Do
about.
the interview with somebody else. Really. You don't need this. Do it with somebody else. And have a good time. Because frankly, you're a very negative guy, and I think it's very unfair reporting. Good luck.
He said, because frankly, you're a very negative guy, and frankly, I think it's very negative reporting. And then he goes and shakes his hand, and you know, look at the angle of the hand, though. That's like the same type of handshake that Trump has today. That, like, awkward angle handshake. It's hilarious.
I disagree with you. Sorry you feel that way.
And then he walks off, and they're like, I don't know what just happened. Watch, this girl's
There's
gonna be
nothing we can
like,
discuss on the phone, Donald.
oh, you're disgusted on the phone, huh? She's gonna be like, oh, I don't know. Don't know what happened. So that's what I've got for you today, but Donald Trump has literally been leading the fight against fake news since the 90s. Have a good one, guys.